Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, a blockbuster bombshell? This isn't the send-off you were promised! Buckle up, folks, and maybe lower those expectations just a teensy bit, because Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning has arrived, and it's not quite the high-flying, cliff-leaping, nuclear sub-surfing mega send-off we were all expecting. In fact, it might just be Hollywood's most spectacular anti-climax in recent memory. Yes, Tom Cruise is still out here risking life, limb, and the limits of logic for your entertainment. But this time, it feels like the mission really was impossible. Make a 160-minute farewell not feel like a slow-motion team meeting. The good, the bad, and the boardroom? Let's start with the obvious. Tom Cruise is still the GOAT. The man doesn't walk. He sprints, he climbs, he flings himself off cliffs with the kind of determination usually reserved for over-caffeinated squirrels. And in The Final Reckoning, he's once again doing things that should require at least 3 insurance waivers and a small prayer circle. But here's the twist. All that cruise magic, buried under layers of boardroom drama, bureaucratic bickering, and enough exposition to make your popcorn go stale. Imagine going to an all-you-can-eat stunt buffet and getting served a PowerPoint instead. The flashback fiasco. Right out of the gate, the film greets us with what can only be described as the ultimate Ethan Hunt highlight reel, complete with greatest hits, heartbreaks, and heists categorized like they were on IMDb. It's like someone hit shuffle nostalgia and forgot to hit play on the actual plot. Sure, callbacks can be fun, but when the movie opens with a self-congratulatory Ethan Hunt mixtape and then proceeds to get even more self-referential, you start to wonder, are we watching a movie or an overly dramatic yearbook tribute? Enter the entity and exit logic. The big bad this time, an evil I called the entity, because nothing says final showdown like fighting ChatGPT with a stunt bike. The entity's master plan, basically, infect the nukes, start Wario, build my own TikTok death cult, classic villain stuff. Only this time, it's explained in a way that feels more like a TED Talk than a thriller. And don't even get us started on Gabriel, the human villain who's about as threatening as a soggy bagel. Remember when we were promised that he was the guy who changed Ethan's life forever? Yeah, turns out they forgot to give him a personality. Where's the action? Let's talk set pieces because that's why we're all here, right? Good news, there are a few. And when they hit, they hit. The submarine cliff roll, chef's kiss, the biplane chase, stunning. The problem? You'll have to wade through oceans of plot sludge to get to them. This is the longest Mission Impossible movie ever made, and somehow it feels like the one with the least action. At times that you'll find yourself whispering, can someone please punch someone already? Emotional weight, or just wait. This movie tries so hard to be emotional, and to be fair, there are some heavy moments. But the franchise that once gave us heart-pounding action and cheeky fun seems to have forgotten how to balance the two. It's like they traded masks, gadgets, and suspense for speeches, brooding and side characters we've never met before. And honestly, hope never to again. Grace, Haley Atwell, becomes a super thief who might actually be a Jedi. Luther and Benji feel like they're logging into a different Zoom call every time they're on screen. And somehow, the late Ilsa Faust gets a more memorable absence than most of the new characters get with actual screen time. The end-ish? So, is this really the end? Kinda? Maybe? The movie acts like it's the final curtain, but doesn't commit. It's less ride off into the sunset and more awkward Irish goodbye at a party. And the final voiceover, it literally tells you to make your own destiny, which is poetic, but also a little rude after making us sit through 2.5 hours of their destiny. Final verdict? The Final Reckoning is a cinematic equivalent of your favorite rock band reuniting for one last tour, only to spend most of the concert playing obscure B-sides while the lead singer lectures you about AI ethics. There are moments of greatness, flashes of brilliance, and 1 or 2 stunts that'll have your jaw on the floor, but overall, it feels more like a farewell to fun than a farewell to Ethan Hunt. So, should you watch it? Of course, it's still Mission Impossible, but just know, this mission comes with some baggage, suitcase,